Hello YouTube, Matthew here, and in today's video I'll be talking about an app that I really enjoy using and the forensic artifacts it leaves behind on an iOS device. And that app is the iOS app of Duolingo, which I use a lot, basically every day these days. Now, without further ado, if you're interested in learning how this language app works behind the scenes, stick along with me and roll the intro. Okay, hey everybody, and welcome back to the video. So let's discuss the Duolingo app a little bit more before we get into the actual file system here. Now, so some of you guys may have used the app before, but for those of you guys who are new to the app and haven't used it, you have a basic interface that looks like this. So you have a whole bunch of lessons, and in some of the lessons go over just grammar and vocabulary, like this one. So for instance, this unit right here is called Communication on a Trip. So you're going to learn about how to communicate in French when you're on a trip and ask to be at places, such as describing a wedding and actually that's the wrong one. Communicate on a trip. So you're going to learn how to say things like where you're walking to, what you're walking to, where you're going, and how to go to the museum, and a bunch of other stuff like that. So yeah, you have your basic grammar lessons that teach you what I just showed you, and then you have stories which are littered all throughout or your path. I was about to say tree, but the path. So these stories are littered all throughout your path, and it's essentially just lines of text that tell you about, or that tell a story between one, two, or many characters, like this bear here, this lady, this guy, and other characters that are in Duolingo. Okay, so after that, we also have these lessons in the French and the Spanish course, which are podcasts sometimes, and other times they're actually video calls. So when they're podcasts, you're talking to one of the characters, or one of the characters is talking to another random person, and they're talking about either doing something or some kind of other topic related to the unit that you're working on. And otherwise, if it's a video call, you're actually calling one of the characters or simulating a call with one of them, and you guys are talking back and forth about what you do with some sort of related things to the topic that the unit covers. For instance, one of the more recent ones that I did before I skipped around to another course is the one for cleaning, normalizing the past, discuss household chores. So I was talking about what I use to clean my dishes, whether I use the dishwasher or I do it by hand, and whether I mop the floors or vacuum or do other things like that. And so that's what the Duolingo path, how the Duolingo path is laid out. And you have also these practices for premium members. And what the premium practices do is just, if you do this 20 lesson one, this one, or this one, also, if you do either of those, you're gonna get 10 exercises from, you'll get 10 exercises from your previous lessons that you've done, and these lessons will, or these practices will be practices from them. Now you also have your goals. You have a monthly goal, daily goals, and also a quest to do with friends, each of which are represented somewhere in the Duolingo files. As well, you have these badges right here and the text that's with them, which you'll see also is represented within the files. And now also represented within the files as well is this, the user's profile, in this case mine, which also will have links to these people, the people that you follow or that follow you, and also this leaderboard right here, which has a bunch of people on it, and these people on the leaderboard will also be represented somehow, somewhere. And finally, this feed is represented as well. So now, with all of that out of the way, actually, I almost forgot about one important thing. So for these courses like French, Spanish, English, and all of the other ones with this Duolingo score item right here, you're going to have a space for indicating the score as well. And in this, it'll give you this text right here. So like what you'll be able to do with this, the score number actually, a link to this picture of the flag, I believe, as well as links to these pictures and links to this text and speech. So without further ado, let's get into our file system here. So if you navigate to wherever your Duolingo is at, you'll be able to see these, and this is the root of your file system here for Duolingo. And what we will do here first is our goals manager. So if I go to my other screen and push this stuff over here, okay, this, where's my cursor at? Okay. This bear icon right here is one of the badges that you're going to be able to, one of the badges that you're going to be able to see on here. It's this badge for the challenge of December 2021. The first December after the first DuoCon, that where these badges were released onto the app. And the JSON data right here, what that does is just shows the table for this and where to put everything. And so same goes for all of this stuff in here. Yeah, that's monthly badge again. So yeah, all of these badges. And this also has goal content URLs, which are content for this stuff right here. Okay, that's it for that one. And there are also some stuff for online sessions, or I mean offline. So these offline sessions will be if you're away from an internet connection. And in some cases they might sync, but in most cases I think they don't sync with the server. which is pretty weird because I would think that they would want you to keep your progress always. These don't have anything. And smart tips are just tips that you've encountered for things. These stories right here, English to French or French to English, will show this a picture of some sort. Where's my cursor? Then some encoded text which I won't open.
Oui, nous avons cuit beaucoup de bonnes pâtisseries dans ce four.
And also all of the what's it called? All of the sound for the story that you were doing. So in this has every sound that you'll encounter for every little bit of text in French that you see on the story. And you'll be able to go through each one from the beginning and see the entire story. So in tapped hint data is about the hints that you've tapped. The user client is, okay, we're on French right now. So this user client will show you, okay, let me command plus that. Okay, so for all this text right here, number of words, 6,700. Okay, so these are the number of words that you've gotten so far. This is the amount of XP you've attained, or rather the user that you find has obtained. And all of these show lessons completed and lessons, or let's go down here, let's go back here. So for each of these circles it contains for each of the circles it contains, where is these path extension full skill IDs. So yeah, it contains the skill ID, which is a link to the skill that you were doing. Yeah, so as I was saying, it also shows the state of the little bubble right here. So some of the legends may be legendary or progress in sequence. So in this case, this one doesn't have any, this bubble right here doesn't have any progress, but and doesn't have any level review either. And where did I see that? There's a lot of text here. So your finished sessions right here will show the amount of these lessons in here that you finished. So some of the main bubbles, like this one, will have between 5 and 9 lessons. So this number can be between 5 and 9. Path level metadata. Absolute method. Okay, well, whatever. Yes, I see a state of legendary, so one of these lesson pathways is legendary on here, which is awesome. So that's enough of that. Saved user subscription level. Let me zoom in on this one so that you guys can see it better. So this file right here about saved user subscription option will show you the user ID, which is this one for me, and premium I'm storage, or I'm premium because I bought Duolingo or Super Duolingo. I was about to say plus there, but yeah, then storage date is a Unix timestamp, which this one will probably be sometime around 8:20, 8:23, because that's when this was taken. Or actually, sorry, I subscribed to it on January 5th of 2024, so that's probably what that date is. User subscriber info will show information about, let me zoom in on that as well. On all the users on the leaderboard, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, it's looking like let me look at these followers. Actually, this is one of my friends, so it's probably the users in here, because this is their profile. Yeah, so that correlates to all of the users. Yeah, all of the users that are it correlates with all the users that are on your friends list. And user v3.json is all the information about this user, which is me, my user. Okay, author ID. And so this is all about me. And actually, funny thing, I see crowns right here, so it still shows about the crowns that you would see in old versions of Duolingo, which is highly funny. I'm glad I noticed that. Okay. And this shows about a bunch of XP that has been gotten. Yeah, we can go through that later on. Okay, now what streaks does, what the streaks file does is shows you both the current streak that's going on as well as the longest streak. So in this case, I haven't missed a day in a while, so the streak that I have going on my profile is going to be the same as the keyed streak. But sometimes this streak will be long, or the longest streak will be longer than the keyed streak because someone missed a day. And this XP summaries file shows about all of the XP that you have on a certain device on a certain day. So it shows that on some days I got a lot more than others. Some days I did a little bit over 100, while other days I went above and beyond and did over 1,000. Oh, wait a second, 20 XP one day? Wow, interesting. And anyway, that's enough of that folder. That's enough of the documents on this one. So we're about halfway done with these. So ESTN. Okay, let's do French since we were looking at French. So this French score shows the score to French. So again, as the UI says, I have 63 score in French, and I have 30 units of an index. And it'll show the skills that I'm supposed to do, as well as a bunch of information about the level IDs, all of the identifiers for the let me show these. All the identifiers for the things that we have here for all of this stuff right here, for these characters and the lines that we have here. As well as all of these. As well as all of these numbers, what all of these numbers should have. And the cool thing about these French and Spanish things is that probably by the end of the month, or by the end of the month to start, by the end of September 2024 to start, they're going to start being updated to be able to cover C1 to C2 levels of French, Spanish, English. English has been updated already, but all of the other foreign ones will be updated to cover everything from the target language to make you sound like a native speaker, and give you vocab, grammar, and ability to speak at a C1 to C2 level, which is the level that Duolingo English is at right now. So that's enough of that. Your score tier info will show let's go back to that. Score tier info will show say hello or goodbye in French. Talk about promotions at work. And something about the tiers. Oh yeah, you get the point. And score unit test is... And what the score unit test does is have all of the unit tests for each of them and what score they should yield. And all of this family plan stuff defines what to do with family plan users. But luckily for me, I'm alone and not on a family plan, so I don't have to take a look at those right now. com.duolingo.duolingo mobile has a database of cache things. Okay, and let me open that here. Let me open that here. Where is cache.db? There we go. False start. False start, don't save. And what this does right here is just stores all of the data. Withplists of the request object. So I'm going to save request.plist as a plist under downloads. Downloads. How about I open a new Finder window? And change this over here to a plist. Use.plist. Let me throw that down there. Let me throw that down there and pick this up. Documents, downloads. Let me throw the request in here. So actually it doesn't show much, just an integer. That was very anticlimactic. Manual. So this is for graphic stuff right here. So yeah, that doesn't show much. Oh, this daily quests right here is cool. It shows the daily quest that the user has. So in this case, on this day, I had 90% accuracy lessons for a grand total of 5. I had to do a grand total of 5 and do 5 in a row on how many lessons? 5 in a row for 2 lessons. And also type deepest path, so I had to do I believe the next 3 lessons, or the next 3 lessons. If I read that correctly. And then the previous daily quests are supposed to be are defined by arrays. Dual on path eligibility, that's nothing. Full story, nothing. Some logs right there, you can go through logs, practice challenges. You can find out what those mean. And the coolest thing here is user mistakes. So actually, let me look into my Greek first, because Greek is cool. I like the Greek language. Greek is fun. So this is quite a bit less advanced than where I'm at right now with Greek, but let me show you some mistakes. So right here's a mistake. My dog is necessary to me. So o skilos mu okay. O skilos mu o skilos mu είναι απαραίτητος. And that's that. And so the English that I had there, my dog, is both bolded and underlined. And that matches up with what's in the app. And it has all these other ones right here too. And I like the script, so the Spanish one has nothing. SFR. And French has a lot more, because at the time that I was doing this one, it was the only one that I was doing during my practice. So it has a lot more. So in some cases it has this right here, which is something that I did not put. And that one is merci. Je ne me servais pas. Une mauvaise mémoire. And so that one was underlined and bolded because I missed something. There. So you could always look into these, but for now there's other mistakes and some Unity stuff, grading, expiration time. We have binary cookies, and we'll look into those, the language modeling. And the last thing that we'll do for today is our preferences folder. So what this preference folder does is holds plist files for everything. So let's take some of these preference lists. Let me make this a little bit cleaner. So feed state.plist shows all the cached users. Okay. That didn't show as much as I expected it to, but streak invitations, perfect lessons, daily counter. So you can find on this day there were 3 perfect lessons that were taken. And score state. So French, Spanish, French. So things were changed on these dates. And for final, we call that Duolingo mobile. It shows a lot of data for everything about the app. So, and I don't really want to take the time to go through all of this right now because there's a lot of stuff to see here, as you can see by all of the scrolling that I'm doing in the background. And also, these preference lists right here are worth for you to take a look at yourself. But for now, that's all that I see as important from the Duolingo folder. And I'm sure that there will be more in the future. If you're watching this, more in the future, as in after the end of September, or even closer to the mid-September, because they're coming out with the new features as we speak. And so if you're watching this past maybe September the 15th, it's worth looking into an image on your own if you're very curious about these things. But for now, it's time for me to sign off. So if you made it this far and liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. As well, I hope you keep on enjoying forensics, people. And I will see you in the next video. Matthew, signing off.